to the finale,
Yes.
season 3, episode 8. Yes, episode 8. The Treasons at Tumbleton, House of the Dragon. All right, let's jump into it. We've got Orwell telling Rhaenyra about Aegon, and she rushes to Daemon in a panic. And this is the final. This is the final threat of the anything that is kind of holding her sanity, and
Yes.
her last tie to trying to be like Viserys, which Mysaria represents. That's gone. Like she's going full Daemon.
Should have been, don't, she should have done it. I'll get into it later, but I think it is funny here when she busts into the room to tell Damon they're cleaning up his armor and he's just like looking longingly at his armor, like, oh, I wish I could put you on and fight. And it's like, listen, the gods have answered your prayers.
Yes, and he's very. When she was like, "I need you to go into Tumbleton and basically start rooting out all the high towers," he couldn't be happier. He literally had a glow about him, which was hilarious. Like wasn't even like hiding it. He was just like,
No. But also, once again, he was like hyping her up and getting her focused. This man, as much as he is not a leader, as much as Massaria talks about how he's scheming behind her back, he has been, despite the way he goes about it, her most loyal servant.
yes,
And he has been locked in on winning the war the entire time. And when she busts in the room and talks about Aegon being risen from the dead and people saying this, he doesn't miss a beat and immediately locks in, is like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, this, and this. And I'm just like, you know what? I said it a couple episodes before. He might not be the best leader, but maybe they should have listened to him.
yeah. I mean, as long as you like give him his moment to pout, he still ends up doing what she wants.
Yes.
But
Yes.
he needs that moment to be. I want to be burning people, you know.
Exactly.
And as long as you give him that and back off for like a little while, like he'll end up doing what you want him to do.
Yeah.
But you just got to give him a
You
moment.
got to give him that time, and then he will be your most trusted ally.
Yes. And Bailey, she runs on her way out to making the decision. Bailey confronts her about Corliss being kidnapped and like basically like again, I felt like that kind of part where you always have the like we'll talk about this later. Like right now things are happening. Like
Yes,
we'll have a discussion about our relationship and about how I'm treating my underlings in a bit.
exactly.
Not right here in the hallway. Like
Yeah, read the
I
room. We're
get
at
it.
war.
Right. I get it. Like my main focus is the fact that a king that I just had declared dead, and like that was my like I was trying to get the sept on board, and that was my whole point. Like, and now I see this like, is the prophecy real? I'm having all this existential crisis here. Bela, I will get to you in a bit.
E- Exactly. And I mean, there were layers to that because, again, I said Rhaenyra started acting the way she should have been acting. And to be fair, she wanted to be more like her father. But with
Right.
everything that's happened, she's finally embracing that side. And Corliss, Daemon, other people have been disrespecting her to her face. Now that she's kind of crossed that threshold, Bayla starts saying whatever might be accurate. She grabs her by the face. I'm like, well, I mean, it was bound to happen to somebody because Corliss was out here talking out of his mouth, calling your kids bastards, and he could have been beheaded right then. Like all of this,
Yes.
but also Bayla and Adam and everyone else. It sucks that Corliss was taken. Let's figure out what was he doing in the woods? Did Rhaenyra tell him to go in the woods? And no. Rhaenyra summoned him to the council twice, and he had to pout. No, I'm gonna go stop the Triarchy. You can take my inexperienced son instead. Like, it sucks that you got captured. It sucks that they cut your finger off. You are out here because you ignored the queen and wanted to be all in your feelings. And now that you're captured, now your kids and grandkids and everybody else is like, oh, what about grandpa? What about that? What about him? What about him?
Right. play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's what he
Yeah,
did. He
yeah,
like your grandpa went and got himself caught. He could have been here sitting here at the table, but
yep.
he was out there.
He was out
So
there. That's on him.
so
Don't come at me because now, similar to how, oh, I want you to legitimize my kids right now, even though I ignored them for decades. Similar, oh, you need to go get him. I don't need to do that right now.
he can wait.
He can wait.
He's like on the list of priorities, brother is way down here. So like
Yes.
just wait a second. I'll get to him, but I got 35 things ahead of him right now.
Yeah.
And Alan, I mean, speaking of, is no longer waiting to be legitimized. He just kind of declares himself, heir, and I'm his
Yeah.
son, and isn't holding back anymore. Like his proximity to power with Rhaenyra has boldened him a bit in
Quite a
this.
bit. Quite a bit that he crosses a line a lot earlier than I thought he would, but we'll get to that.
He's a go-getter.
Yeah.
Hugh sees the cavalry leaving for Tumbleton. And then we have Ormond on his high horse about being able to send out power in Darren's name. And so he knights Darren, which it's very telling where the knight of Creed about you protect those who can't protect themselves, and it's women and children, and we'll get to
Yes.
what he does later. It's like he's such a false knight, even in that, like
Yes.
he doesn't believe the words he's saying. Again, it's just about the power.
Which is ironic because he has spent so much time this season calling the Targaryens savages and just like
Right.
will monologue for hours about how they are just wild beasts that happen to have pretty hair and like they are beneath us because they're savages. And then, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you're gonna get to that. Ulf is drinking and putting on a show for the servants, doing Ulf things, which clearly, we'll get into that as well.
Yeah.
Elinda, her Rhaenyra's handmaiden, I guess it's telling her that Helena isn't eating, and that she just tells Elinda, well, like I'll handle that, but you need to get everything ready. I'm heading to the Sept. Like I'm going to be annoyed in one way or the other here. And in true cutting ties with everything that is Viserys's vision and way of leading, she sends away Viserys. She I won't put it the way they did on Twitter, but basically
Yes.
she had a one night stand, called her an Uber, and told her to leave. So
Yep. Listen, they tried to tell her. They tried to warn her.
they tried to warn her.
And at the end of the day, whether you want to admit it or not, whether they will tell you to your face or not, they see you as a whore, and that is all you will ever be.
All you were ever going to be. So yeah. So she tells her, she says, what basically Linda tells her, hey, there's an Uber been called for you, and finally, which again, she gives her gold and which is crazy because I thought they were hurting.
That's what I literally,
So.
that thought crossed my mind of where did this gold come from? Or, okay, the little gold you have, you're giving it to her, like you're buying her silence. Rhaenyra, I'm not saying you need to go like full Mad King or anything, but doing a silencer, there's other cheaper ways to do it.
Put her in the dungeon. Put her in like, hey, I guess maybe the
Auto vacated one. I'm sure they've got one open now that he's no longer there.
maybe the sex was that good. Like,
Maybe
I
she's
like,
like,
keep her around in case I want to go back to that. Helena is being basically rounded up for her 1 hour of non-cell time is coming to an end. She sees the gray mirror and it takes that as a sign for what comes later.
Yes.
And basically on her way back into the kingdom, she runs into Sarah, and basically now it's telling her, which the warning was given to Nasaria in front of Helena, so why Helena has to be told by Nasaria not to trust Rhaenyra is kind of weird, because it was like your own mother was warning off Nasaria. You were in the room when that was, but maybe you were too busy cross-stitching. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know why she has to be told, just basically telling her not to trust the queen and that Aegon's alive.
Yeah. That was
Um,
yeah. Also, I feel like Massaria, the guards were right there, and they let Massaria. Like obviously it's for the show, but I feel like Massaria, because very openly was like, "Do not trust the queen," blah blah blah. I'm like, I feel like the guards would have shut that down pretty quick, but whatever. Maybe they figured we're escorting you out. You get one last statement.
right. She gives her more information than she had all the entire time she's there, you know.
Yeah,
Eamon wakes to Alice kind of like, because in the last episode he was poisoned and realizes that he's truly alone. And she tells him the story of Lord Heron's history and her whether or not you believe she's Lady Heron, who's a few hundred years old, if she's if that's the truth, or she's telling each of these guys kind of what they want to hear.
yeah.
Which I mean, I guess yeah, you should believe because they're clearly there. She does some magic. I'm sure she can't just transform into a goat and bats and everything else she does without some magic. But it's like still, she still has been telling each of them like, now she knows that she keeps trying to grab power in any way she can, and
Yes.
she's telling Eamon what he wants to hear as far as like, I'm alone too, let's be alone together.
Yeah.
And him and his true, like, we've always talked about that he has mommy issues and stuff like that. Now that he hears that we're not the same age, you're 100 years older. Now all of a sudden,
Oh man, he's like, you know what? You know what? I was iffy about you. Now that I know you're a few centuries older than me, you
yep,
know what? I think
cougar
I'll stick
cougar
around.
powers activated, and all of a sudden
Yes.
he's locked in now. So
She's sitting there like, that's all I should have said the minute you got here.
right. Did you know I'm a few 100 years old? I completely am in love with it.
We could have fast tracked this whole thing.
Right. What do I got to do? Oh, okay, that's what I got to do. Rhaenyra confronts Helena, and Helena tells Rhaenyra that basically, like, Viserys would hate you. He would think that you're kind of disgusting, and everything you love is ugly. You're ugly. This place is ugly, 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 ugly. And she's force fed by her guards by Rhaenyra. Which was with all the sexual assault and a lot of things that happened. That was an uncomfortable scene for me, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
It
why, but
wasn't as much for me, but I see where you're getting at.
where you're like, oh, that is like true, like just yeah, I mean, like just complete helplessness.
For me, I didn't see it that way, but maybe it's because in my head, I had already, was it last episode when she was going on about how she wasn't really eating? In my head, I remember thinking it's going to come to the point where she's just going to have the guards force feed you. Like, I
Okay,
guess in my head, which may be
it was
morbid, but
inevitable.
yeah, I had already like seen that coming
Okay,
because as you're
it's
already a
just
prisoner, Rhaenyra is becoming more and more unhinged. If you refuse to eat, like they're gonna make you.
right.
So when it happened, I guess for me it was more like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, yeah. You were just kind of like I can completely see. I guess I figured she killed herself before they got to it, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a matter of time. Um, Adam warns Alan about like Rhaenyra's failing mental state, but Alan's too busy loving the power. He's just
Right.
like, I'm doing, like you might see that. And yeah, they did imprison the girl that I just kissed, and I know you like her better. But apparently, you like her better because you care about her more about the fact that she's like, yeah, Alan's digging it too much, though, to really
Alan lived his life being ignored, his birthright, I guess you could say. And I don't know, 30s, 40s, whatever age he is.
right,
I think he's like, you know what? I've sat here and let him ignore me all these years and do this and do that. I'm just gonna start going for it, show some initiative.
right. You're like, I'm tired of waiting. Like, what is
Yeah.
she gonna do? I'm actually helping what she do, cut my head off because I've declared my
Yeah.
legitimacy. Like, maybe that should have just been
He's
like,
sitting there. I don't know if you heard about me, but I'm the guy that solved the rat problem because I'm the only person in the realm that knew that cats hunt mice.
right, like, yeah, Quarles maybe shouldn't have even just asked for permission. He should just, just start calling him his heirs, and
Yeah.
what would really, like, as long as he's doing what he's doing, then the whole pouting could have been avoided.
Yeah.
But Alan's taking Rhaenyra to the Sept along with Joffrey. Um, and this is when we find in cut to Ormond is having children line battle mounts. And he's basically kind of not only having them stand there, but kind of shackling them to the
Yes.
battlements. It's not just I want you to stand here. It's I'm chaining you to
You have
this.
no choice.
Yeah. Roxton, his Ormond's hand, like his side guy, his help.
Yeah.
Can't find all. Wayne the entire time is like we're all gonna die. He was that. I don't know if you ever saw the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes. Yeah.
The little
Yes, he was the toad.
he was the little blue star.
Yeah, the blue, that's what was
I,
the blue star. We're all gonna die. Yes.
right. Nothing is left of hope except hope for
Just
death. He's just
yes. That
walking
that is
around
very
like
much Gwen.
laughing, just like Wayne's like, what's going on? He's doesn't matter because we're gonna die.
Yeah.
He's fairly pessimistic about this with good reason. But then Gwen kind of is like, I think we could do something, comes to Corliss kind of with a plan. We find out that plan later. There's already a darts off the carriage when they kind of stop for the procession, which is a wild choice. Like, go get out of there.
I obviously her story is not done.
Obviously,
And so they wanted her to stay in the kingdom. But for me, yes. Like, do I feel disrespected being, I don't know what my official title, well, Mistress of Whispers, I guess, and then getting escorted out of the city without her even talking to you again? Yes, I would feel disrespected. But also,
alive.
you survive. They're giving you enough gold to get you a ship or whatever. Like, take the win. And it might
Yes,
not be the win you wanted, but they're sending you away.
right.
Like, yeah. No, I want to run back and be a peasant with this unhinged woman who, A, war is still happening. Who knows what, like, this is probably the most dangerous place for me because the war. B, if the queen or someone in her council sees me, she probably won't be as nice the second time around. Like, all of the arrows were pointed towards the exit, all illuminated, and she's like, I'm gonna go this way instead.
And plus, I am not done. I don't care if I might get myself killed.
Yeah, yeah, that I don't know. I I have a lot of thoughts about her character, but whatever.
Wayne, we find out Wayne's plan, and basically he kind of he tells Daemon that like Ormond's lost it, and I want, or basically telling Corliss and then that they went to sue for peace. Like basically, like let's just end this. Like Ormond's lost it back here. We don't plan on dying for him. Can you just make Darren like king of Old Town, and we'll she can have the rest, but like we don't want this at all. In the meantime, Roddy the woman is a complete joy in these scenes.
Oh man.
Tommy Flanagan, yeah, we're
Outstanding.
gonna get to like more of him, but just a complete. I mean, just a he's such a pleasure to watch as far as
He
TV.
really is. He embraces that role and he just acts it well. I didn't realize who he like I've recognized the name. I didn't realize that was him like in the old Gladiator movies and all, like love
Braveheart,
that guy.
Gladiator,
Yes.
yes. Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy I recognized. Braveheart and
right,
Gladiator. I guess he was a younger, thinner man back then.
right.
So I
Which
didn't
is
know.
what that's what like I remember him,
Yeah.
like him being Maximus's his true, true
The one
guy.
guy that stuck by his side.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, he's Roddy is circling this and laughing about it, and like I've smelled, I've seen more meat in northern men. He is just
Can I kill him?
he
Can I kill him,
he
please?
is he's like a caged dog, like he's a dog
Yes.
that's been trained to fight and is just like circling his cage and just like a tiger behind bars, just let me out, like please let me do this. Corliss wants to end it as well though, but like Damon still has big visions of grandeur and does not want this.
What Corliss and Gwen and them suggested wasn't terrible.
No,
Obviously, giving Darren any sort of kingdom is iffy for a lot of obvious reasons.
Right.
However, and I still realize Damon has that bloodlust, and honestly, it's like, no, you guys have double crossed us, triple crossed us, like you gotta die. I get where Damon's coming from, but the solution that they offered wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Like there's a few high towers that are still like Allison has tried. I mean, like, obviously she started it. I like Dwayne doesn't hasn't started any of this, and
No, he's
he's
kind
just
of just
like,
been there.
please, I'm just like, tired of this. Like, I want to
Yes.
go home. I want to end this. Everybody around me is crazy. I am so tired of being dirty.
Yeah.
Just please let
Yes.
me go home. Um, and then we see that Aemon awakes to hearing a dragon approach, and that's when we have Aegon coming back to Aemon, and Aemon instantly like drops to his knees and is in submission, and it just pisses Aegon off completely. And yes, so
It's that scene where the character that's built up this revenge in their head is
right,
underwhelmed when the person that they've been envisioning just destroying doesn't have any fight left, or either doesn't have any fight left or has had a change of heart. And you
right,
just they that other person now has to like decide if they really want to just kill this person or take them, whatever. Because in their mind, it was going to, in their mind, it was an epic battle,
sure,
and I beat you, and I stand over you, and
right,
this is just like the person, just like, it was like Yelena when, in the Hawkeye series, when she was coming to kill Barton, because she thought that he's the reason why Black Widow died. And she's just like beating him up, and he's like not fighting her. And he's like, I don't want to kill you. I didn't kill your sister.
right.
But Yelena had this whole image in her head of like, yeah, the CIA operative on the epic duel. And he's like, I'm deaf in one ear. I'm old. I miss her too. I loved her almost as much as you did.
Right. So just like yeah, so Aegon's very much like fight, fight, and Aegon's like do it. Of course, Alice interjects herself and is desperate to keep him, so she's not wanting him to go back. Because Aegon's plan is, let's go and fight the queen, and then I'll decide whether or not I forgive you. And like
Apparently, the whole Hightower family is just like, yo, who is this woman?
you're always thinking, like, this woman.
It's a shame Otto didn't have one last scene where he goes to Harrenhal. It's like, who is this?
Who is this woman? Yeah, they all just kind of stop and like, again, who is this chattering monkey? And does she speak? Like, why is she here? Like, this
Yeah.
is her way. So yeah, so then we kind of cut to like Daemon giving his battle strategy with all the players around the table. And again, Roddy is giving his 2 cents, Black Alley is giving hers. You have Oscar Tully, they're all there. It's a great scene. They're just it was I think the one line was, "Are you ready to die for your queen?" And he's like, "Wait."
Yeah. Well, this is why I wanted more of them. And I remember I don't remember the exact battle, but it cuts to all of them
Yeah,
after the battle when Damon finds out that Jace is dead. And it's like I remember people online, people who have read the books, wanted to see that battle, but instead it jumps to when it's
sure.
over. But this scene with all of them interacting and when they confront Cole a few episodes ago, it's just like as much as we got of you, I wish we had gotten more of you. And I'll get into my thoughts later. You could have cut like half the Harrenhal stuff and given us more of the Tullys and Roddy. But I'll save that. I'll save that for when we give our thoughts on the whole season. But if you're
I
looking for
don't
where we
blame
could
you.
have cut,
Right, I don't blame you because it's yeah, you could have just had him being there like I'm alive and that and just him landing with the dragon and finding out that he's alive, punched and then just kind of almost in there. You don't need I love like when Damon's like, you need to get open the gate and then you can die. Just
then
let
you
him
can die because
die.
he knows that's their end goal.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want you to reach that goal as much as the next guy, but I need you for one thing first.
And I love where he's like, open gate, die. It's like,
Yes.
I mean, like I like a lot of people that don't understand that group. They think that like the Starks have abandoned these Winter Wolves. That is not how that group is at all. They are very much it's self-sacrifice to take themselves out of the North to keep the resources for the North, for the women, children, and other people. they very much want to die in a glorious battle, and
And
they're
I guess it's worth reminding people that either haven't watched Game of Thrones ever or it's been a while and forgot. Winter is coming was always the phrase that was used, but like just reminding people how long the
winters.
winters are
Right, up there.
up in
It's like,
the
yes, like
north.
they talk about them being like 7, 9 years kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, no, these guys are, they're very happy to die. They want to, they just want, they want to fight, and they've been given a fight. So they're more than happy for it. We've got Rhaenyra, who finally barges into the sept and demands anointment. Um, they're like, we're not going to give it to you now, especially now that we've heard that Aegon's alive. We're definitely not getting it
Yeah,
now.
yeah. We didn't give it to you the first time, and now we're for sure not.
Sure, not given to you. So, and like, how do we know that the prophecy's right if he's the one risen from the dead, like a Jesus kind of character? Basically, just say it's Alan, kill him. I mean, like, and Orwell's standing there like, damn.
Yeah. And here's what I'll say, now that she's kind of done everything that I had taken notes on. I realize that for her character and for the show, they wanted to drag it out and show her trying to be a peaceful 50-50 type of queen. And yes, Damon was saying, let's go scorched earth since the beginning. Alicent said you're going to lose part of yourself, and Rhaenyra kept pushing back. But while it may have taken too long, she finally hit that point, and like I kind of wrote down, we went over them, but uh, she told Daemon to go out and stack bodies. She did say don't burn Tumbleton, so she still has some humanity left. The way she talked and grabbed Baelif's face, the way she forced Helena to eat, the way she is forcing the Sept to anoint her, or else, and how she told Massaria to kick rocks. Like these are all things that you waited until the last minute to
Mhm,
start doing all of them back to back to back to back, when it's kind
mhm.
of like you should have slowly been doing and again, I realized the reasoning and the setup was that she was trying to not be that person.
Right,
But you wanted to be the queen, you took over during a war. This is what you should have been. I'm not saying move exactly like Cersei, but I think there is something to be said that like if Cersei wanted something, as evil as she was, Cersei did what she had to do. She did. That was her whole
right,
character. That's why she survived as long as she did. And Rhaenyra, it's like, girl, this is how you should have been moving. You are the queen, and if the people disagree and they don't like it, well, take them off the chessboard.
right. Like that's it's you can't be your dad. Your dad
Yep,
reigned during a time of peace. This is a
yep,
completely different thing. And like
completely different.
I like how she does like F the Serious at the very beginning, with, when she's complaining to David, but it's like, yeah, you're right. He screwed you over
Yeah.
in this. Like maybe he should have never been remarried. Like that's
What did Helena say? Father would hate you for this, and she's like, he never did anything to stop it from coming to this. It was like,
right.
ooh,
Yeah.
get him! Like she's not wrong. She's not
No,
wrong.
like yeah, he sat idly by why well, like this was going to happen. Like you should have put it in a piece of paper, brother. Like
Yeah,
wrote something down.
wrote something down, made an official decree, fired Otto, something like.
Right. Yeah. So we see that Battle of Tumbleton being prepared at the same time while she's giving her speech at this after killing the Septon, and people are like, you're like, first of all, the way not to get us on your side is not to speak being Valerian towards the end, but the
Yes.
beginning, you're talking about a prophecy that is we don't know when it's going to come, but like we're starving now. Like hello, like we're hungry now. This is Joffrey's first time of hearing it, so he's like,
A lot
like,
of
is
people were
this
like,
happening
"Who is
during
that
my
baby?
time?
Who is that kid up there?" They don't even know who this kid is.
I mean, like even then he's got to be thinking like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna be in, like nobody knows when this prophecy is supposed to come true. So it's like even
Correct.
he's gonna be like, and you're tasking me with this, and I'm finding out this now.
Yeah. And like you said, these people are starving. The gold cloaks are dead. So not only are they starving, but it's a lawless time in the streets.
Right.
And
And she's
now
giving
we
history lessons over like
exactly.
what
And then speaking in a foreign language at that, like, girl. read the room. Like, I get it. Like, I know I just said this is how you should have been moving. I meant everything up until this point when you decided to get up on those steps and start yelling to the people about a prophecy and all. Like, no, not the time, nor the place,
Yeah, no,
nor the language.
nor the language. Sorry, as Caesar is like, oh Lord, there's the fascist I was
Yeah.
fearing that would pop out, and that's what
The
I'm trying to
makeup
do.
choices too. I feel like we haven't
Oh yeah,
mentioned that. I loved it. It was different. I didn't expect it because she's looked more composed, but the makeup and then also her finally putting on her armor, like yes. And I know that they kind of advised against it originally, which at the time made sense, but the way she looked was less, it was more terrifying than we'd ever seen her look since she
yes.
became queen. I was here for it.
Oh yeah, no, she's complete full dictator in
Yeah.
this. Like there's no like you don't have that kind of makeup and that kind of arm chainmail around your head
Yes.
for that entire time. Yeah. So while that's all going on, then we kind of cut to again. Roddy's revving up his troops.
Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh, I loved it so much. I loved it. And I know I said we don't need all the time the explosions and the Michael Bay action, but this and what we're about to get into was just incredibly shot. And I had tweeted for any Lord of the Rings fans out there, the Battle of Helm's Deep in the Two Towers. It was in the Two Towers. Battle of Helm's Deep is one of my favorite like medieval battles ever. And you have the Uruk-hai and the orcs beating their chest and kind of doing the same thing. The way that this battle was shot and filmed, I feel like they had like watched the Battle of Helm's Deep, Lord of the Rings, like 18 times and took vigorous notes, which is why I loved it so much because I loved the Battle of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings and what we're about to see. But Roddy starting it off with the chant and all of that, just 10 out of 10.
He's so fun to watch in this. Like there's a lot of things that they could have cut out and just given us more of Roddy to ruin in this.
Yes.
And of course, while he's revving up his group, we watch kids that are like peeing their pants and barfing all over the place because that's what's about to happen. They know what's about to happen. They're right
Also,
there.
Lord of the Rings and Helm's Deep, they had kids out there. Now, that one was kind of by choice because they didn't have an army, but that was also similar. And yeah, you see the kids throwing up and pissing, which, like, gross, but also I
Accurate.
appreciate that it was in there because that was real. Like, you see the kids shaking, and it's like, okay, yeah, they're scared. A kid pissing and a kid throwing up. Like, this is
That's
what
realistic.
having your show on HBO is to really lean into the realities of this
Yes.
fantasy
To make
world.
you disgusted with what's about to happen. Like
Yes.
you do get to enjoy your Roddy the ruined part of it, the adult part of it. It's the juxtaposition of adults that are wanting to die and willing to die, and then children who are being made to die,
Yes.
like without like not involuntary and voluntary, two different things, and how they're approaching it. And it's yeah,
It
I
was a
do.
weird emotional roller coaster because, like you said, adults that are choosing and willing and wanting to die versus kids who don't have a choice and are being shackled. You go from Roddy and beating their chest and me being like,
Yeah.
yeah, to like literally 5 seconds later being like, oh, oh.
Oh, ooh, oh, like,
Yeah.
oh, oh. So the battle begins and no one can find Ulf
On either side.
on either side. Nobody can find Ulf.
Yeah.
And Hugh shows up and Damon's like, I can't anybody just do what they're supposed to be
Yes.
doing in this battle? Like
And that's
it's
the last straw for both of them. Like I know Hugh has been more professional and more well liked by Rhaenyra and Daemon, but since the beginning, Daemon has always side-eyed them because he views them as less than. Um, and obviously Ulf has just been messing up every chance he gets. But now Hugh is once again somewhere he shouldn't be. And I know Daemon is like, when this is over, I'm killing both of you.
kill both of you. Like that's um we've got I mean, obviously it's a lot of battles, a lot of charging the walls and stuff like that. But in the meantime, we have Ormond who sends kids out to guard the door. Um, yeah, and at this
Damon's
point,
getting a lot of hate for it.
no, I
I
don't think
don't
he
think
should.
Damon deserves the hate. Like obviously he did. He gave the 12 kids a chance to run. 10 of them did. And then he was like, "Hey man, this is a war." And so he tells the Caraxes to burn the door. But Ormond should be the one that is blamed for this. I realize that Daemon is the one that pulled the trigger, but he put them there knowing that it was a war.
Yes, yes. I mean,
Can't hate.
you can't, especially when he tells the kids, like you can see in him, he's just like, no, don't let the. This is low. Like this is the low, of the low. Like, yes, I know I've already had ordered a kid to be killed, son for son kind of thing, but this is low, and please just get out of the way. So no, I don't find this on Damon's, like he had to get through, like this has to come to an end. You can't be held hostage by Ormond and his dirty tricks this
Right.
entire
We're all,
time.
yeah, exactly. We're already being held hostage by Ormond because they're at Tumbleton. Like that, like the
Right,
whole point was we're holed up in a place that you can't just drop a nuke on.
right.
So he's already delayed them. Now we are at the gates. We have started, we are ready. And now you bring the kids out there. Damon gives them a chance. There's no way that he is like, oh, all right, cracks, you turn around. They
Right,
got us.
right. Like, yeah, yeah, like you're the one that put kids upon the bat, like you were the one that put kids upon the
Yep.
battlements. Like that's not on David, that was on you. So but they do breach the, obviously Caraxes breaches the gates, which is great. I love him, his head coming through.
Sticking his head through.
Love it so much. I'll be devastated when that dragon dies.
Yeah,
That is,
yeah.
I think everybody loves Caraxes the most. So probably because we spend the most time with the bloodworm, the
I was
most
gonna
on
say, and
the.
they've spent the most time, and he's the most unique of all the draft. I mean, obviously, like Vagar is unique in the sense that it's just massive,
Right.
but with time spent, Caraxes is the fan favorite. The way he looks, but then also just his bond of how Caraxes is always ready for a fight. It just works with Damon so well. That one will be the one that I cry about when it finally happens.
And of course, him laughing, or Caraxes laughing when they talk about Cole's head on how did he die
Yes,
badly.
yes. You just hear the
And you hear him chuckling.
yes. I love it.
Caraxes, you got that dog in you, don't you? Definitely. But when Roddy sees that the gates have been opened and the troops are running in, his focus is now I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna die taking out this guy. And of
Yes,
course, this guy being Ormond. He is fully committed and focused on getting to Ormond and fighting to the death.
yes,
They do find Ulf asleep on the shitter,
yeah. Just
and Ormond does to him what Daemon did to him earlier and basically like beats crap out of him in front of everybody.
yep.
I just he deserves it, yes. But
Yes.
do this to somebody with a dragon.
And I feel like
Thinking
Ormond,
you can control either of them.
yes, I think this should have been your cue that Ulf is not trustworthy.
Right.
But also Ormond, and maybe it's because Darren has had his dragon chained up. I don't know. But it seems like he didn't think of the potential consequences of someone having a dragon.
No,
But
nobody. Like again, this is kind of what Jace, in fact, that's kind of how it is different in the book, is it is actually Jace's idea that the dragon seeds are given dragons. Whereas in this one, he's the one that warns Rhaenyra and saying, hey, can't trust these guys. So, but ultimately, the warning is kind of true. It's like we just gave these dragons to people who don't really respect the fact that they're dragons and
yes,
that they cause this, like they weren't raised knowing about them, living with them, raising them since they were, you know, broken out of the egg kind of thing. Yes, this is what happens when you just give a rando a nuclear weapon kind of
Yes.
thing. Roxton and Daemon face off in their little battle. She's a little battle, but against their little side battle they're fighting. And Ulf is flying the dragon drunkenly, burning troops at this moment, which at this moment is fine. He is helping, right?
Yes.
In a way.
Yeah, kind of. I think the fight with Damon and Broxton, as good as it was, it could have been better if we knew more about him. Because
Right.
I found out, thanks to the internet, he also has a Valyrian sword called the Widowmaker or
Yes.
Orphan Maker, which,
Mm-hmm.
like, if that's the name of the sword, that has to come up in conversation at some point. Like, huge miss by the creators not bringing that up. And that was such a good fight between those two, especially
But
from
he
Damon,
isn't
who
dead, right?
do what?
He isn't dead.
He
We
isn't
don't see
dead.
we don't see his body yet.
Yeah, we don't see the body, so as far as we're concerned, he's not dead. It was such a good fight. Damon, who outside of he got bested by Cole early on, but for the most part, Damon has been like that guy. He's never been on
Sure.
fraud watch. Like Cole saying I'm the greatest warrior in the realm. Like, come on, man. Damon has proven time and time again, like, oh no, like I'm about that action. So for him to match up with someone and to get thrown around like that, I thought it was great. And you could even see his face in some of the scenes. He was like, oh,
I might die out here.
yeah, this might be it for me.
Right. So we have Roddy finally tracks down Ormond and he kills him.
Ooh.
You can't
Kills him
say
in the
what
most Roddy way possible.
he can't say what he but he does basically shove a sword up his butt and
Yeah.
says that's a proper effing from the north.
Yes.
And is so happy. Okay, he gets his arm. Now that is true to the book. He does get an arm cut off and is able to kill Ormond before he dies of his. Well, he succumbs to his wounds and dies that way. But in this way, it's kind of great because you see that Ormond realizing that he didn't have control of Ulf, and
Yes.
Roddy is more than happy. Like he's like, did what I came to do. I'm here at the end. I will say that the North, if they stay, yeah, I don't know how true they are going to say this. If this is true, the North isn't done with the fight.
Another thing that the internet has done is I kind of went through and kind of found out more about because I know you had kind of described it originally, like how brutal they were, and we've
Right.
seen it and kind of what they do. But I did hear online of yeah, kind of they're not again, we don't know two
No.
long years from now, but from what I've heard that yeah, there is more to their story.
Yeah. From what I remember is Craig and the kid who originally Jace went to go talk to and said um the Winter Wolves kind of like were already from what I remember the book, the Winter Wolves were already kind of out and they were easy to like gather up and
Yeah.
round up and be sent that way. But an actual army from the north is going to take a while to get there. And by the time they get there, they're going to decide people need to die. Like
Yeah.
we're not done here.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like even though we have lost our dear departed Roddy, may he rest in power. um, we shouldn't be done with the people in the north. So we have Silverwing, which is the dragon that Ulf is riding, kind of breaks up the Roxton Daemon fight because at this point now, Ulf has started burning. He's like, F them too, and he
Yeah.
starts burning Tumbleton. He starts going through Daenerys's way,
Yes.
burning everybody. Um, Daemon gets knocked out. When he comes to, he kind of is shocked by everything he's, the ruin. Like I think it kind of like, oh my god, like this is exactly what Rhaenyra told me to avoid.
Which shows that we've called Damon unhinged and all sorts of things, which I think have always been accurate.
Sure.
But as we said earlier in this recording, that he is her most loyal servant, as much as he has been just dying and fiending for a fight, he was loyal to the point where he reminded everyone the realm is watching. We're not going to just go full nuclear on this place. And it wasn't just words, he meant it. You saw him
Yeah,
hesitate when those two kids didn't get out of the way of the door. And then when he wakes up from being knocked out and he sees the destruction, he isn't just like, eh. Like, he
right,
is like, oh. So for whoever unhinged he is,
right,
you can see that no, he still falls in line and
right.
understands the optics of the situation.
Yeah, because he says, like during the planning of it, he's like, we got to keep all our Rhaenyra's moral standing in Black Alley. He's like,
Yeah, yeah,
boring.
yeah.
But I mean, to him, that was important because it was important to her, so it was important to him. Um, it's kind of like this fight is like a tie, but again, like nobody won because of the cost that it's costing
Yes.
everybody. Clearly, I think the blacks have lost it because again, in the book, this I don't know if they're combining the first and second battle at Tumbleton, but this there was a first battle and then obviously there was a second. So I don't know if this is both of them, but there is another one that they still want to do. Like there wasn't a winner here. I mean,
No.
you could say maybe the Greens were the winner, but ultimately not because they lost so many people
They
too.
lost so many people. They lost, like, in the end, Rhaenyra will come out looking worse, but you
Sure,
lost Ormond and most, if not all, of your Green Army. You lost your commander. For as far as they know, Darren is gone.
sure,
So it's like the Greens lost in the sense of like what, like, you may have made Rhaenyra look bad to her peers, which will hurt her in the long run, but like that's all the Greens really won. Like, congrats on making her look bad. You
right.
lost everything.
Everything. Right, you're right. And Corlys kind of comes, he finds Daemon. He's like, we've got to defeat all of there has
Yeah.
gone rogue, and like he's burning everything. We got to get out. We see Helena walking towards an open window. We kind of know what this means. Gwen comes to calling for Darren, but we don't see him. We don't know where he's off to, and we know that Ormond is officially dead.
Yes.
Hugh finds Cat dead. And Elindo then tells Rhaenyra that Helena has jumped to her death. Um, Rhaenyra sees the tapestry with her on the throne being surrounded by blood and fire, and she's like, "A win is a win."
She looks at it and is like, "Oh, that's a lot." But that is me on the throne though.
A
So
win is a win.
a win is a win.
And like her shutting those shutters is kind of like her shutting another door inside of herself that she's got to be like, I'm sorry, but this is the way things have got to go, and just kind
Yep.
of closes something else inside of herself. And we see Allison see butterflies fly up, and I don't know if she officially knows, but she knows something is wrong.
Yes.
Something in the force is not right, and that's kind of where we see that is with the showing of the shutters and everything. So overall thoughts about the episode, and then go ahead and what you thought about then the series overall.
I thought this episode was really good. Gave me the action that I wanted, gave me the emotion that I wanted. You got a payoff for a lot of things that they've been building to for the whole season. So I thought it was really good. You got to see the version of Rhaenyra that we've been wanting to see. We got to see the battle we've been wanting to see. We've got to see the Winter Wolves be the people that we want. Like, everything that we've been talking about, and you got to see the death of Ormond and people you've wanted to see dead for a while. So for all of that, I loved it. As far as the season is concerned, I liked it more than the second season. I
Okay.
thought this season started off strong, and with this last episode, I think it ended strong. But I feel like in the middle, it lacked a little too much, kind of like we've talked about with other shows where we don't want you to save your entire payoff to the final episode. I think you said it best when we were talking about the Acolyte, whereas the whatever the second to last episode, you always call it that, but like you want stuff to happen then, and then you can deal with the fallout in the finale. I felt like a lot
Right.
of things were kind of jam-packed in the end, and just throughout this entire season. I was sick of Harrenhal. I was sick of it. I didn't need it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we had the Winter Wolves, we had Roddy, we had the Tully kid, we had the chick with the eye black that looked super cool, and she said like
Black
two
Alley, yeah.
black, yeah, she said like two words the entire season. They were out and about doing stuff this whole season, working their way towards Tumbleton. I would have loved to cut out like half of the Harrenhal scenes and give us more of them. And then Aegon, he had a crazy character arc, phenomenal acting when he gave his rousing speech the last episode, and then when he was talking to Aemon this episode. I would have enjoyed more scenes with him and his journey of self-discovery this season. Yeah, it would have been meant more Laris and stuff like that, but I think they just spent way too much time at Harrenhal, and at the end of it, we didn't get anything out of it. All we got was Aemon swinging his sword around shirtless. We got Alice, who was a mysterious witch. Like the biggest things we got from all of those Harrenhal scenes was that she's got 5 eggs hidden away, and then in this final episode, she gave her backstory. Those were the, I think, I'm trying to think, those are the only two things of substance that we got from all of the Harrenhal scenes. And it's like, you could have spaced them out, but we just spent too much time at Harrenhal. I think that time could have been spent elsewhere. And then my other criticism, I was sick of Allison, and not to the point like write her off the show, but I feel like because Allison and Rhaenyra were so close growing up, they've continued to put her in the story,
Sure.
and I feel like Aegon would have been a better focus. Even Helena, and I do realize that having Allison on screen meant that Helena got some screen time,
Sure.
but I would have rathered more Helena and her dreaming and her stitching, or more Aegon and his self-discovery. But instead, we
Right.
got Allison just moping around, and then Aemond swinging his sword, moping around. It's like the two mopers. We could have cut
Right.
50 to 75% of those scenes and filled it with other stuff that would have made the show better. Again, I didn't hate the season. I enjoyed it. The
Right.
first season was still better. Second season was fine, not great.
Right.
This was better than two, but I think they were so focused on Harrenhal and Allison that it took away from stronger performances. Like again, the two major scenes we got from Aegon, like man, would have loved to see more of that.
Right. And I think I fear, and I agree with what you're saying is my fear is all this time spent at Harrenhal, there's not going to be a huge payoff.
Agreed.
And so you're like, that's a lot of time spent, like you said, in a place that what are we really going to get from this?
Yeah.
Like where can we possibly go? Because we know people who know, like you don't even have to know the book because to know that what real what real impact is she going to have later?
Yeah,
You know,
for
or
sure.
what real impact is he going to have later? Because we know things don't end well for House Green. So
Yeah.
like what
Not
can
saying cut it completely, but for how much time we spent
right?
is the
Is the
payoff.
payoff going to be worth like
Yes.
is the juice worth the squeeze kind of thing? And I agree with you. I just don't think it is. And I think you could have given us more time of characters that were interesting. Like again, more of the battle planning with Daemon and like everybody talking about, like your work, like work best friends as far as, your 15-year-old Oscar Tully and your 16
Yes.
Roddy the Ruin,
Yes.
like give us that because again, that is going to have just as much impact as Alice and Harrenhal's going to have, which is ultimately nothing. So why focus all that time there when yeah, so I agree with you. It was again better than last season. It had definitely had its highs. I think we again were blessed with a lot of new characters that again didn't last the season with like
Yeah.
Norman and Roddy. Um, but yeah, there's even just a lot of the time like because there wasn't stuff in the book about Aemon and Aegon during like these times where these battles are happening. I don't think you should be forced to make huge storylines out of them that aren't going to go anywhere. Because again, what I know people are like, oh, now we're supposed to be cheering for Aegon, but he's still a terrible person. Like, we don't
Yeah,
have to, again, this goes back to what we were talking about last time, is we don't have to have characters to root for. We just want
exactly.
to see good writing and we want to see people tear apart. We want to see the word. Like, again, anybody, I think I saw a tweet earlier today, was like, if you're watching this, when you have any kind of like moral problems with anything, like you're watching the wrong show. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, you can't take a moral stance and watch House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones.
You can have characters that you like more than other characters.
Right,
You can have a character who you agree with in a certain situation, but I'm not watching this show and I'm like, the blacks are in the right or the greens, like that's who
right.
we want to like. No, you are all terrible people,
All terrible
and I'm
people.
just enjoying the ride. And yes, from scene to scene, I'll be rooting for you. And like I caught myself at when Aegon was giving his speech when was it Sunfire came back from the
Right.
dead. I remember after the end of that speech, I'm like, hey, you know what? You got it. That's my king. I'll say it. He's a terrible person.
Terrible
But in
person.
that moment, in that scene, I'm like, put the crown on his head.
Right, because it was good writing, fine, like
Yes.
fine, but it's like then you're like, oh, okay, and then the point is to be reminded that later on when he's going to do terrible things, like, oh, you're a terrible person, like
Yeah.
nobody's flawless in this. Like you have to enjoy a character like warts and all in these kind of things. You have to stop making them like the moral superior person and just if you don't have anything to do with Aemon, then he just doesn't get any screen time. Like, I'm sorry. Like that's just
Too easy. Like again, you could have shown him getting to Harrenhal, getting stabbed. And I'm not saying cut out those scenes completely,
right.
but way too much time was spent on him doing a whole lot of nothing, just walking
Nothing.
around that castle, swinging his sword, practicing for a battle that never showed up for him. Like it was just unnecessary. It reminded me of Bran from Game of Thrones and
Yeah,
all of
it is
that extra
unnecessary
stuff.
because I don't like there was no point in the Allison drugging thing because again, for those of us who again they could change it dramatically, but his death has nothing to do with like there's no there's nothing to do with Allison. Like his it, it just doesn't I like I said it's gonna be a whole bunch of story and backstory for a whole bunch of nothing unless they completely just
Well,
vastly
and it's
change.
like because of Alicent being such a big character in seasons one and two, it's like they couldn't help themselves but to make her
Right,
an important character in season three. And it's like you could have just, again, not written her. I think you said in the book she was kind of not around or not really mentioned in a lot of this. But Olivia Cook, like she has a high salary. She was one of the biggest stars in the first seasons. So they kept her around. But like for this type of show or for this universe, it's like you didn't really need to do that because, I mean, this show has proven we'll kill off main characters like it's nothing.
right.
We if of all the shows that have ever showed, we will kill off main characters.
Like
And then you
I
get to Allison, it's like we gotta have her in every single episode. We have to have her do this. She has to carry the story here. Why?
yeah, I get it's like you don't want to put her like you don't want to just have that character wasting away in a dungeon, but you did with Otto.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's yeah. I don't. I there a lot of the choices that it's like I get that this is his interpretation of the book and his adaptation of it, but it was you have so many different characters being introduced that you could have just let the introduction of those characters and the stories around those characters kind of fill the holes that would have been left by these other main characters. So I mean, still love the show. It's great. It's one of
Yeah.
those things you got to tune in for every week just to enjoy it. Again, the memes online or something enjoyable. It's
Yes.
community watching at its best in a time where there's not a lot of community watched shows streaming. Maybe Lanterns will be that. I don't know unless it's HBO, so they'll do them one at a time. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, overall, Good. We're gonna end that here because we're gonna later this week. We still have X-Men, the finale for X-Men. And then I think Friday night is when Marvel takes the stage for D23, and we will see.
If the rumors are true, and my girl from Sinners is cast as Storm, I will lose my mind in the best way possible.
Okay, in the best way. I was
In
like,
the best, sorry, in the best way.
in the
Probably
best
should have
way.
started with that. No complaints, but and I think it's confirmed, but until I see her standing on the stage,
Right.
I'm prepared to have my heart broken. But when I saw it reportedly announced, I was, oh, yes.
I've heard that they, because of is it Henry Melton? Harry Melton, the one who they were reporting was going to play Beasts.
Oh,
He didn't want
yes.
any part of it, so now that they might not announce any of the characters. So
We'll see.
we'll see. We'll see. That will probably be, yeah. So that comes out Friday night. We'll definitely have thoughts about that. But the next up is X-Men. When is that? When is the
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay. All right.
I
Yeah.
think it goes live. I don't think it's one of those Wednesdays at 7 p.m. I think it's like at
No, it's like
midnight
two
or
o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
2 o'clock. Yeah, because East Coast gets it first. So,
Yeah.
or midnight on the West Coast. Is that what it is? Something like that. Whatever it
Yes.
is. I plan on watching it early
Yeah.
so I can just sit in my emotions for the
Sit in
day.
your emotions. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've made plans. Like a lot of times, like, oh, after work, Wednesday evening. One time I even waited till Thursday for the finale. I'm like, no, as soon as I'm waking up early, I'm sitting down and I'm watching it, and then my day starts after.
I'll watch it again because obviously watch again because we have to talk about it, but
Yes.
I am not eager to watch it again. I'll just say that much. But we'll leave you with that. So there's more to come, another finale for us to cover. And we will do all later. Bye.